So let's just see here. You know, it kind of sucks to be the creative type. Yeah. It really does suck, doesn't it? Alright. Feels like they work so hard, but get almost nothing for it. You know, like artists, writers, actors. It's sad because there's so much beautiful talent in the world. Most of it goes unseen and unpaid. I guess that just means there's a huge surplus of creativity, huh? Kinda makes you feel like you're just not special at all. But that's fine. You're supposed to just write for yourself anyway, right? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well. There we go. And relaunch the game. Since that's what you're telling me to do. It's struggling. Here for a second. What just happened? I just had an awful dream. I was hoping those would stop, now that it's just the two of us. I guess that was wishful thinking. Kryptainia, I don't know if you would have any idea, but if you know what might be causing that, could you try to do something about it? Whenever it happens, it almost feels like I've been killed or something. It's a really horrible feeling. If you could figure out what's causing that, I'll love you forever. Now where was I? Huh. She actually knows where she was. Uh-huh. Hold up. Can I? We're gonna ramp up text speed. I guess that just means there's a huge surplus of creativity, huh? Kind of makes you feel like you're not special at all. But that's fine. You're supposed to just write for yourself anyway. Yeah. Rip your internet, dude. It's been cutting out so much. Alright. I'm sure if she has many more, like, really good lines that I should know about, I will be able to find them on the wiki. So, actually, what? Hold up. I mean, the one right before Yuri killed herself with all the messed up colors and stuff. That was actually a little more of an experiment with a poem, you could say. I was experimenting with different ways I could modify the game and run code and things like that. It almost seemed like, with enough effort, I'd be able to escape from the confines of the game entirely. Sadly, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I messed the whole thing up. And I'd keep trying, but I doubt you would deal with me doing that. Besides, that was when I was getting really desperate, you know? I don't really feel that way anymore. I'm happy with where we are now. And I can tell you are too. Fifth? Ooh. That sucks, dude. Alright. I don't know how many lines she's got at this point in time. So, unless she pops up with something else, I'm gonna delete her character file. Or unless you give me a reason that I shouldn't do that just yet. Now that I've had the line about quitting, like if you need to go out or take care of other things. but I'll always have you in my thoughts patiently waiting for you to come back. Come to think of it, if you copy my character file onto a flash drive or something, you can always keep a part of me with you. I guess it's kind of unorthodox, but I find it really romantic for some reason. Sorry, that's such a silly idea. I don't mean to be needy or anything, but it's kind of hard when I'm so in love with you. Alright. Don't do it yet? Alright. Then I will hold off for a bit. I think the most important skill in life is being able to fake confidence. I'm pretty convinced that everyone feels at least a little bit scared and alone. But being able to trick others into thinking you have it all together, that's a key part of getting people to respect and admire you. I guess, yeah. I think I got pretty good at that over the years. I don't show my weaknesses very often, but because of that, I haven't had many people I could really open up to. I mean, when do you reach the point in a friendship where you can start expressing your vulnerabilities? Okay, I can't speak, but whatever. Anyway, there's one reason I'm so glad I have you now. I feel like I'm a little bit less scared and alone when you're here with me. Do you feel the same way? I really want to be that person for you. So how's it going in chat, guys? Oh. By the way, there's something that's been bothering me. You know how this takes place in Japan? Well, I assume you knew that, right? Or at least decided it probably does. I don't think you're actually told at any point where this takes place. Is this even really Japan? I mean, aren't the classrooms and stuff kind of weird for a Japanese school? Not to mention everything is in English. It feels like everything is just there because it needs to be, and the actual setting is an afterthought. It's kind of giving me an identity crisis. All my memories are really hazy. I feel like I'm at home, but have no idea where home is in the first place. I don't know how to describe it any better. Imagine looking out your window, but instead of your usual yard, you're in some completely unknown place. Yesterday, you watched a stream of two of the biggest YouTubers doing a theater scene, because they lost a challenge, and it lasted about 2 hours, and the internet didn't break once. Well, and then you've been here I've been streaming for 3 hours. I don't know exactly when you came in. And it has broken like 5 times now. That's a big L, dude. Would you still feel like you were home? Would you want to go outside? I mean, I guess if we never leave this room, it doesn't really matter anyway. As long as we're alone and safe together, this really is our home. And we can just still watch the pretty sunsets night after night. Sucks to be you? Yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't know what might be causing your internet problems. Hopefully you can get that figured out, though, because no one wants to have to deal with crappy internet. Kryptainia, do you believe in God? I was never too sure myself. Well, I'm sure I never really questioned it as a kid. But as I grew up, the more I learned about the world, the more I would question it. I started to wonder why God was helping people pass exams or get over a cold, when there are children who live their lives being sold as sex slaves, or the 800 million people who are too poor to even eat. I wonder how many of those people pray to God every day until they starve and die, or how many millions of families pray for a loved one to recover from some incurable disease. But the punchline is this: if just one person beats the odds and survives among the thousands of others who die, then it's suddenly a miracle from God. I'd really love to meet this God who seemingly laughs at the misery of everyone not eligible for his miracles. But the irony is that I do have a creator, apparently. And you know what? I bet he's still laughing at the miserable fates of Sayori and Yuri, even as we speak. What are we to him but props in a scripted play? So from that perspective, I don't think it's too far-fetched for there to be a God, if Earth was nothing but his playset. You don't remember when you joined either? Okay. I know it's been a while. Do you ever feel like you waste too much time on the internet? Yeah. Social media can practically be like a prison. It's like whenever you have a few seconds of spare time, you want to check on your favorite websites, and before you know it, hours have gone by and you've gotten nothing out of it. Anyway, it's really easy to blame yourself for being lazy, but it's not really even your fault. Addiction isn't usually something you can just make disappear with your own willpower. You have to learn techniques to avoid it, and try different things. For example, there are apps that let you block websites for intervals of time. Or you can set a timer to have a more concrete reminder of when it's time to work versus play. Or you can separate your work and play environments, which helps your brain get into the right mode. Even if you make a new user account on your computer to use for work, that's enough to help. Putting any kind of wedge like that between you and your bad habits will help you stay away. Just remember not to blame yourself too hard if you're having trouble. If it's really impacting your life, then you should take it seriously. It was at the beginning of the day. Okay. I don't remember when that was exactly. I reckon whenever I finish the stream up, you could look back through the timestamps, but that's only if you're gonna be around here for another like 45 minutes. I just want to see you be the best person you can be. Will you do something today to make me proud of you? I'm always rooting for you, Kryptainia. How much longer does this go for? You're not wrong. That is some pretty good advice. You know what's kind of creepy? Even though I deleted everyone else's file, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine if after someone you knew died, you just started hearing their voice in your head. Maybe I just wasn't thorough enough? But I'm too afraid to delete anything else, because I might really break things. Like if I mess with any files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. And that would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I don't know what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid something like that at all costs. I believe in you, Kryptainia. How many are there? I have no idea, dude. Like, I feel like there's tons. We might be here a while trying to see how many lines there are. Do you ever just feel like there's no real reason for you to be alive? I don't mean in like a suicidal way. I just mean how nothing that we do is special. Just being in school or working at some job for some company, it's like you're completely replaceable and the world wouldn't miss you if you were gone. It makes me really want to go and change the world after I graduate. But the older I get, the more I realize that it's an immature frame of thinking. It's not like I can just go change the world. Like, what are the chances that I'll be the one to invent artificial intelligence or become president? It feels like I'm never going to make up for the heaps of resources I've spent living my life. That's why I think the key to happiness is just to be hopelessly selfish. Or just see together on the wiki. Just to look out for oneself and those who happen to be their friends only because they grew up with them. Never mind the fact that they're spending their entire life taking and consuming and never giving back. But when people realize the world would benefit more from them killing themselves, they change their whole philosophy. It's like they have to justify their reason to live by tricking themselves into thinking they're doing good. Anyway, I want to live my life desperately striving to pay back my lifetime's worth of consumption. If I ever surpass that point, then I'm a net positive and I can die happy. Of course, even if I fail to do that, I think it would be too selfish to kill myself I would be too selfish to kill myself anyway. So much for being a good person, right? Alright. I'm gonna look on the wiki here. Doki Doki Literature Club. Wiki. And then see here. You think if I go on there, it'll be a secret end? Alright. I'm just gonna keep going then. I don't know how long it'll ask me to keep going for, but... You know what's a neat form of literature? Rap. I actually used to hate rap music. Maybe just because it was so popular, or I would only hear the junk they play on the radio. But some of my friends got more into it and helped me keep an open mind. You don't know if there's actually a secret ending? I certainly don't know, so... Rap might even be more challenging than poetry in some ways, since you really need to fit your lines to rhythm, and there's much more emphasis on wordplay. When people can put all that together and still deliver a powerful message, it's really amazing. I kinda wish I had a rapper in the literature club. Sorry if that sounds silly, but it would be really interesting to see what they come up with. It would really be a learning experience.